at the time, there was the protests in Seattle had turned into kind of a riot situation, and I was not convinced that it was going to be a situation in Bonnie Lake. So I came to the store. I talked to my general manager, and we discussed what does that look like. So my first phone call was to the sergeant on duty at the police department to ask them, in the event that there was a situation where we had rioting and looting here, what was the contingency plan? And he said we had an extra officer assigned tonight, which gave them a total of 3. And they also were aware of a situation with the Target store that they would be covering that. And so the police department is actually 2 doors away from us, but they weren't going to be in the office. So we started talking about, what does that look like? And I obviously am very concerned about the ramification of the arsenal that sits on the store getting out into the hands of criminals and being in my community. And so we were just kind of caught off guard and trying to make a plan. And as we were talking, there was a little black car with limo tent windows that parked under the sign out front. And we didn't really think a lot of it, but as we continued to discuss what we were, trying to accomplish and what did it look like, the car was there a long time. It was uncomfortable. They didn't go to the store. They didn't come in here. They just sat there. And so I thought it would be prudent to maybe ask them if they needed help or if they were okay, or, sometimes people pull over and talk on their cell phone and just kind of see what was going on. I took about 3 steps towards the car and it peeled out of the driveway. That's not a normal reaction. So it kind of surprised me. I thought, gosh, I think we might be being cased. And I had a really bad feeling about it. I called some friends and I said, hey, what do you guys think of this? And they said, I think if you're going to stay down there, you need to not be alone. And so people started to come in and show up, and they didn't want me down here by myself. They're also concerned, the same as I was, about the amount of firearms and ammunition that's here, and also the heirlooms that belong. There's other people's things here. I can't just load all this up and take it home, nor do I have a bunker stashed somewhere that I could fit all of this in. So it has to stay here for many reasons. A dozen or so guys here during the day, or people here during the day, and they're just not, you won't recognize them, as we're not standing out kitted up in the middle of the daylight with ARs on our backs, or they're just observing and making sure that the team that's in here, they're filling out paperwork and they're busy with customers, and that we have eyes outside of their immediate space. In the evening time, it's 30 to 70 people, depending on their schedules and what kind of things are going on in the communities. And the idea is that the amount of people here is just something that is a presence that is going to not be a soft target. It's to kind of give you the idea that this is not someplace that is going to be an easy target. During the day, we have tons of support. We have people driving by honking and thanking us and bringing us. These guys are so well fed by this community. We have stuff being shipped in from across the country because of the national attention that this has gotten. And I think that you're seeing a lot more people, because the police resources are so thin in small areas like ours, that are in the same boat. They just don't want to see, this stuff out on the street. And it's not something that you think about when you're a firearms owner. You know that you need to keep your firearms locked up, you need to keep them under your control, you need to be a diligent firearms handler. But being an owner of a store like this, and the amount of weaponry that's on site, that becomes a very daunting responsibility. So that's basically where I'm at.